use your whole body. Often we hear people saying the phrase, use your whole body. But what does that actually mean? Simple, it means literally nothing. Hello and welcome to another video of Nassim Martial Advisory. This video will be a longer series about the main engine of the so-called inner martial arts. It's force transmission. In this video I will go in depth into the topic because it's not just a big field of these so-called inner martial arts, it's actually the whole base for the system, and therefore it cannot fit into 1 or 3 videos, so it will be like, I don't know, maybe 10 videos or so. So why does it mean nothing when you say use your whole body? Because you're always using your whole body. If you do a simple punch, you are using your whole body. If you take a taxi, you're using your whole body. So the phrase is somehow misleading, if you want, because what people mean with that is to accelerate your body mass through your body axis. From my point of view, this idea is based on an incomplete understanding how force is happening. And no, it's not bad if you execute it in a proper way and by a proper understanding, but because the parameters are not clear, so it leads people to just move forward with a lot of shaking and a lot of moving mass. If you are practicing in this way and you are thinking what kind of nonsense I'm talking about, then maybe the whole video series will not be the best thing to watch for you. We try to bring our understanding of the universe into our training, if we want or not. But the problem is our understanding is based on very simplified models, which are mostly not transferable into a complex reality. So when we think now about the phrase use your whole body and what people interpret into it, we can see that the idea behind that is mostly that people are thinking about a round solid ball moving towards another round solid ball and therefore transferring its whole mass into another object. But that does not count for the human body. The human body is made of a lot of moving and stretchable parts, and just because of that, it's not just that you have to adjust it a little bit, it's a totally different thing to think about. A round, solid, single object has by itself already its optimal structure, and of course, when you bring that into motion, you will create a bigger momentum. But, and again, this does not count for the human body. What we try is to create structure behind our punch, not mass to move forward with that. So, and what that means, we are trying to discover in this video and in the follow-up videos for that. In this video, we are going to talk about the elbow and the shoulder structure. And for that I have my student with me, Sava. So Sava, let's try to give them an example with our version of P-Tran. Yeah? So it's of course our version of P-Tran, but you will find something similar in all of your martial systems, one way or another. So you try to stay in the Santi position and your hands are open and you are in an open structure. Good. So what you can see here now, the elbow is a little bit outwards, so when pressure is coming towards him, he cannot hold it, even if he moves against it. So the elbow is still, sorry. So where does the structure start? Does it start in the elbow? No. because you have to have a base to end in. So, and where you have to end in is your hand itself. So for that, we have to open the so-called hukou. So hukou, or the hukou, is where these bones, these bones are meeting each other. And this is the hukou. This area you try to open. By opening that, you already have like a tension in your hand. So it's now not anymore so easy for me to bend you. Now we have to move the elbow towards the center line, or let's say towards the heart. Yeah. So now we have a much stronger structure. So when I push now against him, he's not collapsing in his elbow anymore. So we have now 3 dots where he's stretching my force, or the incoming force. One is the hukou, the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder. Of course, it's this is not optimal, but in the end, it's still better than the first position. So if I'm now giving him small amount of pressure, he can withstand that. Yeah? Now there's a problem. When I push or hit him against his arm, I'm blocking his whole arm. That means he's just in his shoulder. We try to move that pressure over the shoulder girdle. So how to move it over the shoulder girdle? Simple. You need another hand. Yeah? So by transferring pressure over the shoulder girdle, you have to do the same thing with your second hand as you do with your front hand. That means you have to open your hukou here again, and you have to press out this area. So when I push now against him here, he can hold more pressure here. It's still not perfect, but he can hold the pressure. When I'm now here, so he still have a problem to hold it because of what? Because he's not stretching into the motion. Yeah? But it's okay. So the moment when I'm punching, or I give him pressure, he tries to extend from this area, from his shoulder girdle, into his hand and into his second hand. That means he creates space and structure when I issue force. So, but if I issue force, I still have him. So, why do I still have him? Simple, because it's still not enough. We will look into the other videos and so on, but this structure itself, it's not enough. Because we have to go over the limbs down, we have to go from the chest bone down, we have to go over the shoulder girdle towards the Mingmen and Yao area, and from there towards the legs. So how to do that, we will look up in the next in the follow-up videos. But this structure is the base to have that. If you go into a jab motion, yeah, just have a jab, good. It's the same concept. Yeah? So if the elbow is maybe not here inside, but the elbow is still in line here, he's doing the same thing over the shoulder girdle towards his rear guard. So, and that is still helping him to hold the structure. So if he's punching now, so it's harder for me to keep it. So, and what you see is when he's punching and I give him pressure, he's not collapsing anymore. So this was the first part of our force transmission series, and in the next part we will look on chest bone and lower back. So thank you. If you like to support us, you can do that over Patreon. And if you want to stay updated, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Links are in the description.